We are in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's the 1st of August, and when we left Tucson, it was about 114 degrees, so we decided it's time to get out of the heat, head up to Flagstaff for a little getaway, and this morning we're doing one of my all-time favorite road bike rides in the state of Arizona, and that is Lake Mary. We're gonna go out Lake Mary around Mormon Lake and back in. It's a little over 60 miles. It's really, really pretty. And so we're off. It's about 60 degrees, so it's a little chilly. And so we're off for a ride. About 11 miles into the ride from Flagstaff, and behind me is Lake Mary. And the thing about this ride is it's so pretty. It's just majestic. The views on this ride are just incredible. There's multiple lakes: Lower Lake Mary, Upper Lake Mary, and then also Mormon Lake, which we're going to show you. But again, you just the views out here are amazing, and in my opinion, in all the rides, road bike rides in Arizona, this is by far my favorite, and I think one of the best road bike rides in the state of Arizona. The other thing that's awesome about this ride is the shoulder. There's a huge bike lane, and it's been freshly paved, I think a couple years ago, so it's in really good condition and pretty safe. We are now at about 22 miles into the ride, and we are at Mormon Lake in the backdrop, and it's so pretty. And right over here, I don't know if you can see them, there's a bunch of brown dots out there. That's a big herd of elk. And then off in the distance is Mormon Lake Lodge in the town of Mormon Lake. And this ride is kind of like a lollipop, where you go out, you loop around Mormon Lake, and then you come back in. But we're right at the top of Mormon Lake, and now we're gonna loop around. We go all the way around and then back to Flagstaff. Out in the distance is Flagstaff and Humphreys, Mount Humphreys. But again, as far as Arizona and road bike rides, it just doesn't get any better. We are now about 27 miles into the ride, and at about 27 miles, you're gonna turn right on Mormon Lake Road off of Lake Mary. To add miles, you could keep going straight, go to Happy Jack and back, or the best thing to do on this ride if you want to add mileage is do multiple loops around Mormon Lake. So right now, the Mormon Lake Village is about 2 miles, and there is a general store there, so it's a great place to stop, fuel up. It's about the halfway point. But again, at about 27 miles, you want to turn right on right there, Mormon Lake Road. We're now in the town of Mormon Lake Village, and directly behind me is the general store. So it's a great place to stop and fuel up. It's about halfway point. And then also right behind me is the Mormon Lake Lodge. But if you're staying in Flagstaff, the Mormon Lake Lodge is a great place to come out and maybe have some dinner or just do a scenic drive. So we're heading around the loop of Mormon Lake. So if you're one to want to camp out or have an RV, this is a great place to do it. There's a little RV park out here. There's dumping stations behind me. So if you want, you could always come out here and start from here, do to Flagstaff and back and around. But again, it's a great place to camp. It's nice and quiet. And again, right behind me is the RV park. Coming back into town at about 47.5 miles. If you want to add some extra miles, there's an awesome climb. It's an out and back. You'll see a sign that says Marshal Lake, and it dead ends to the top of, there's an observatory. So we're gonna actually add some extra miles, get to the top, and I'll give you the exact mileage when we get to the top. So from Lake Mary Road to the top of the observatory is a little shy of 3 miles. So it's a good little 3-mile climb. Out and back adds 6 miles to the ride. As you're heading back into Flag, you're almost there, probably another 7 miles to go. There is a county store, the Lake Mary County Store, which is right at Lower Lake Mary. So if you're out of water, out of fuel, you can always stop in and grab something and hammer back into town. Back at the hotel, and it was right at about 61 miles. And again, in my opinion, one of the best road bike rides in Arizona. The one thing you can count on is you're gonna get some wind. So the earlier you leave, probably the less wind you're gonna have, and then the wind's gonna pick up throughout the day. But you can count on a tailwind, a headwind, a crosswind, and at times it can be super, super windy. So just something to consider. But again, if you're coming to Flagstaff to get out of the heat, it's an excellent, excellent road bike ride, and then there's a ton of other things to do. But definitely check out the Lake Mary road bike ride around Mormon Lake.